East. Explosions and gunfire also been heard in the central neighborhood of Souq al-Jum'ah, where there's been fighting in the Mansoura neighborhood next to Gaddafi's Bab al-Aziziyah compound. Government troops have also abandoned the city's Matiga air base. Opposition fighters say what happened in Tripoli on Saturday night was a coordinated revolt that rebel cells inside the city had been planning for months. Fighters are now heading towards the capital to help them, coming straight from their battles in the city of Az-Zawiya. Our correspondent Zaina Khudr is in Al-Maya on the outskirts of the city, and from Zlitan, where Andrew Simmons has been covering developments. First, here's Zaina Khudr with our report.
Opposition fighters are hunting down Gaddafi's men who were left behind when government forces retreated from Jazeera. The rebels have been securing the areas they've taken over as they leave Zawiya and push on towards Tripoli. Residents in areas which were once under government control took to the streets to celebrate. The opposition reached Al-Maya, but fighters were battling with Gaddafi's forces a few kilometers ahead at the Bridge 27. A counter-offensive was launched. Gaddafi's forces used mortars, artillery, snipers. The rebels have been taking casualties, but they are not backing down. They are calling this their final push. Opposition fighters are now at the doorsteps of the Libyan capital. Their message to the opposition inside Tripoli: we are coming to support your internal rebellion. Hundreds of fighters are taking part in the offensive after grabbing control of the coastal city of Zawiya early Sunday. They have been taking enemy soldiers as prisoners along the way. Heavy weapons fired by Gaddafi's army has slowed the rebels' advance. The battle is being fought along a highway, exposed ground, and it can be easy for the rebels to push back the enemy. But it can be just as easy to lose that ground. Still, there is determination and confidence among their ranks. Rebels plan to continue down this road, a road that will lead them to the government's last stronghold. Zaina Khudr, Al Jazeera, Al-Maya.
I'm standing on the highway to Tripoli, 160 kilometers in that direction. I'm on the western outskirts of Zlitan. Zlitan is peaceful really right now. There is concern about the identities of citizens, many checks being made on checkpoints and sentries on duty around the town. The situation on the front line is complicated. They're putting in defenses further ahead, about 5-6 kilometers up the road, sand into containers blocking the road. They're putting up defenses for this town, and some fighters are ahead of that. We looked at the area, and then just before we left, we came under mortar and rocket fire. So by no means further west is it secure. Furthermore, the situation in Juma and Maja is also complicated. There's supposed to be heavy fighting going on there. These are towns about 10 kilometers outside of Zlitan, where there are Gaddafi loyalists taking on the opposition forces, and negotiations are apparently going on to try to get some sort of ceasefire or some sort of agreement. But the situation in Zlitan is definite in the sense that it's under the control of the opposition. But as far as an advance is concerned, certainly not yet. There is still more consolidation to do here militarily.
Well, earlier, Musa Ibrahim, the Libyan government spokesman, lashed out at both NATO and the rebels. He said NATO had hijacked the conflict to prove its relevance.
Tripoli is well protected, and we have thousands upon thousands of professional soldiers who are ready to defend this city against any possible invasion by these rebels under the cover of NATO. And again, I insist, they are nothing without NATO. They are not freedom fighters, by the way. They are not popular. They are very weak. But when NATO comes and bombards everything and attacks everything, then even the cowards can march forward. Even the cowards can march